BTS News Today. A shocking piece of news struck like lightning in broad daylight when reports, allegedly from trusted sources, claimed that Park Jimin, one of BTS's brightest members, had been officially expelled from the group. This news not only shook ARMY, but also made the global music industry seem to pause for a moment. Not long after the rumor spread, social media timelines were flooded with keywords about Jimin and BTS, as if the world was witnessing one of the most important chapters in the history of the biggest boy band of the century. The atmosphere in Seoul that night felt different. The city lights still flickered as usual, but it was as if a gloomy shadow covered the sky. The HYBE building, which normally stood tall with an aura of pride, was suddenly surrounded by hundreds of journalists and fans. They tried to uncover the truth behind the reports that left millions asking, why would Jimin, a figure known for his dedication, his love for music, and his fans, reach the point of being expelled from the group? Initial reports stated that the decision came after a series of closed-door internal meetings that lasted for weeks. Some insiders, who wished to remain anonymous, said there were serious differences in perspective between Jimin and the management. It wasn't about performance nor popularity, because undeniably, Jimin's presence on stage remained a magnetic force for BTS, but rather about the direction of the group's future, which had become increasingly complex after more than a decade of global domination. Meanwhile, fans began retracing Jimin's digital footprints from recent weeks. Some noticed that his expression in photos seemed gloomier than usual, while others pointed out that he had missed several live streams with the other members. Weverse, the platform where BTS usually interacted with fans, suddenly turned into a giant investigation forum. Comment after comment flooded old posts, as though ARMY were determined to find hidden clues that could explain why this was happening. But something made the news even more dramatic. Shortly after it spread, BTS's activities were reported to have been suspended. Concerts, photo shoots, and even the release of a new song that fans had been anticipating were all abruptly canceled without detailed explanation. In a brief statement, a HYBE spokesperson simply said, "We ask for everyone's understanding. There are internal matters we are currently resolving." That short sentence didn't calm the situation. It only fueled the fire of speculation. International media quickly joined the frenzy. Billboard, Rolling Stone, and even BBC headlined with Jimin's departure shock. In Korea, news portals churned out lengthy analyses, ranging from possible personal conflicts to suspicions of psychological pressure faced by the members. Behind it all, ARMY worldwide raised a unified voice. They refused to accept this reality without an honest explanation that a former staff member who once worked closely with BTS revealed to an entertainment magazine that he had overheard an emotional conversation between Jimin and Jungkook in the practice room. "I don't know if I can keep going like this," he quoted Jimin's tired voice. Jungkook, known to be very close to him, was reported to have tried to calm him down, saying, "We've come this far, Hyung. Don't let go now." That testimony only heightened public emotion, because if true, then Jimin's departure wasn't just a rumor, but the result of a long, private struggle at the same time. Fans noticed suspicious silence from the other members. RM, usually quick to clarify through posts or comments, remained absent. Taeyong also stayed away from social media. Jungkook appeared briefly in a short gym video but did not say a word about the matter. This silence only made the atmosphere more tense, as though a storm was being concealed behind HYBE's walls. Meanwhile, armies across the globe held spontaneous demonstrations. In New York, a group of fans gathered in front of Times Square holding posters that read, "Bring Jimin back." In Tokyo, fans lit candles in Shibuya Park as a symbol of solidarity. In Jakarta, thousands of fans held an online prayer session, hoping the news was untrue. This global phenomenon showed just how immense the love and support for Jimin was, proving that management's decision was not something to be easily accepted. Amid the chaos, a video surfaced and instantly went viral. The 3-minute clip showed Jimin walking alone down a hotel hallway in Los Angeles, just days before the news broke. He kept his head down, wearing a black hoodie, and was heard muttering softly to himself, "I just want to be myself." Those simple words brought many to tears, as though they were the most honest confession from an idol who had carried the weight of global fame for far too long. Was Jimin truly expelled? Or was this part of something bigger? Some speculated that BTS was preparing for a new chapter and that this drama was part of a massive promotional strategy. But if that were true, why suspend all group activities? Why was there not a single clear statement from the members? Those questions continued to echo without any definite answers. That dark hotel hallway in Los Angeles has now become a symbol of Jimin's long-suppressed inner struggle. The whispered line, "I just want to be myself," reverberated in the ears of millions of ARMY who watched it. The video spread rapidly, translated into multiple languages, and trended on nearly every platform. Some saw it as the raw cry of an artist trapped by industry demands, while others believed it was a sign that Jimin had been planning his own path long before the news broke that in Seoul, the HYBE office became increasingly crowded with reporters. At night, camera flashes lit up as they waited for anyone to enter or exit the building. Some staff rushed by, refusing to comment, but small whispers began to leak. One person claiming to be from the production team said there had been an emergency meeting involving management, legal representatives, and even the members' families. According to him, the decision was not only about Jimin, but about BTS's future as a whole. The ARMY community was on fire. Fan groups on Twitter Spaces and Weverse Live became stages for mass hysteria. Some cried, some raged, others tried to remain rational by analyzing possible scenarios. If this is true, then music history changes tonight, said a trembling fan from Brazil during a live session with thousands of others. From London, another fan stated that BTS without Jimin would no longer be the BTS they knew, because Jimin's presence was not only about vocals and dance, but also the heart and soul of the group. Meanwhile, Korean media began publishing investigative reports. One major magazine claimed that over the past 6 months, internal tensions had been difficult to hide. They reported seeing Jimin leave a meeting room with a flushed face and teary eyes. The strong suspicion was that debates arose over the world tour schedule. Management wanted to extend it, while Jimin reportedly requested a longer break for recovery. He felt physically and mentally exhausted, but the higher-ups pushed them to keep going. That was the breaking point, the report said. Yet, amid the murkiness, a voice from within the group added even more drama. Jungkook, usually silent when major controversy struck, suddenly went live at midnight. It was short, just 5 minutes. Wearing a white hoodie, his face looked tired, his eyes puffy. He didn't mention names, but his words pierced the hearts of anyone listening. Sometimes, we're too hard on the people we love the most. I can't say much, but don't believe everything. Wait for us. Then the screen went dark. Those 5 brief minutes were enough to ignite a new wave of emotion. Fans took it as a sign that perhaps there was still hope. Still, uncertainty lingered. HYBE remained silent. The other members also stayed quiet. RM, who usually acted as the group's spokesperson, only liked an old post containing the quote, "Truth takes time, but truth always comes out." ARMY didn't miss such a detail. They interpreted it as a signal that the drama wasn't over. In New York, Billboard published an editorial calling Jimin's case the biggest shock in pop history. They compared it to iconic moments like the Beatles breaking up or Zayn Malik leaving One Direction. But they stressed that BTS's situation was far more complex, because the group was not just a band but a global phenomenon with millions of fans emotionally bound to them. If Jimin truly leaves, this is not just a management crisis, it's a cultural crisis, they wrote.